We're live.
Oh,
Woo!
in a month or two.
Yeah, no kidding, huh? Oh,
Well,
welcome back to the
2026 has
show.
turned out to be a fun year, eh?
God, how do we survive it? It makes
And it's going to get crazier. It just is.
you thought 2025 was bad, How could it get worse?
I go back to go back to 2017 and then 2020.
Hmm.
2020 was the first year I remember seeing a no 1-star, do not recommend, going through all the COVID stuff and things like that.
Oh, Lord.
I was watching a video today, and this one fellow was commenting about folks that voted for Trump 3 times, and said, "It's like, I don't know why you keep saying this isn't what you voted for. It's like, this is what you voted for. It's just the volume is louder."
Yeah,
and the great way to put it.
It's one of those things where the first time he ran, I can understand if someone voted for Trump in 2016.
I couldn't. He was saying racist bullshit back then.
Oh, I understand, but there was also a very anti-Hillary sentiment current there too. So like Dad would never have voted for Hillary. So for a fact Dad would have voted for Trump.
He passed on 4 years prior to Hillary ever running, but yeah, I couldn't vote for that one. I believe broad would be the term he would have used.
Well, when I graduated from when I got my master's for San Francisco State, Hillary did the commencement speech that year, and Dad did not go to my graduation because Hillary was going to be there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that says it all, right?
Jeez, you guys got Hillary Clinton. I got some state senator. Some rando state senator was the Keystone speaker. Like, big deal, man. So when he was criticizing the students, because some students were holding up some stuff that they shouldn't have been, and he's like, "I want the names of those students who were responsible." Yeah, go pound sand.
Yeah. Well, it's I think it was the TV show The Office, the American version, where I think one of the characters was dating a senator, and they always would correct her, state senator.
Yes.
My boyfriend's a senator. He's a state senator.
Yeah, because the assumption is always U.S. senator.
Right. Not nearly the same. Heidi Phillips wants to know if we had the same dad. We might have. Yeah, so I get why people might have voted for Trump in 2016, but in 2020, 2024, I'm sorry, if you voted for him, you knew exactly what you were voting for, you knew exactly what you wanted, and sorry, not sorry. 4 years from 2016 to 2020, if you thought that those were well-run years of our government and you wanted four more of that, I can't really help you.
Well, and it's funny that one of the videos again I was watching was pointing out, the same one that says the volume was loud. He went in there, or no, it's a different one. Sorry, but he went in there surrounded by GOP members, folks that had been in Washington D.C. and were longtime politicians to sort of guide him through the process. And all those people are gone. They're all fired. Now it's nothing but sycophants around this guy.
Oh, yeah.
And no guardrails. Zero guardrails left.
Well, it was one of those things. We said this back when he got elected is, you just got to hope you get the Trumpiest Trump that ever trumped a Trump, because that's the only way we break out of this cycle. Is it just gets so bad that even those that really thought that this is what they wanted realize this isn't what they really wanted.
It's like an abusive relationship where it's like Trump is trying to get them to break up with him, and they refuse to do so. So he keeps acting out more and more and more. What about now? What about now? Let me break every promise I've ever made to see if you'll leave me. Now, talk about somebody who is just screaming out for love and acceptance, and he's challenging it through his worst behaviors to see if he'll stick through them through thick and thin. And the problem is, by the time you've curated those people who are your diehard core fans, if he were to look around, they're more miserable than he is, and they're not the type of people he wants to hang around.
Yep. He doesn't need them anymore, so he doesn't give a crap what they think or feel or say anymore, because he doesn't need them. There's certain senators and congressmen that want them because they want to hold on to their little jobs, but Trump doesn't need them anymore. He's got his next four.
It's almost not even worth grifting off of him at this point, because he's moved on to crypto, and
he's catering to the billionaires now. It's where the real money is. He's sold as many hats as he's going to sell at this point. So how you been?
Tired.
Yeah, I can tell.
I had a long day yesterday, and then this stupid time change that we go through doesn't help matters much. And Gary and I are of a similar mindset. Now, I don't get up as many days early as I used to drive into work. Gary does. And, there's something nice about, I don't know, there being a light in the sky when you're commuting into work. And just when it looks like, starting to get a little bit lighter in the morning as I drive in, bam, it's going to be dark for another 8 weeks or 10 weeks or whatever it takes to catch up for that hour we just lost.
Yeah, about 8 weeks. Yeah, because I used to swim at 6 a.m, and I always remember that just when it was starting to get nice to go to the pool, they slam you in the darkness for another 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, because I walk in the morning now, and I'm out the door at about a little before 5 a.m. and walking through the neighborhood. And now I'm just going to be, when I go to work, when I walk to work, I'm going to be in pitch black darkness for the next month until the sun catches up. Well, did you hear the great idea that they wanted to come up with, their good compromise idea?
Yeah, they want to do a half-hour offset. I don't care what they do. Just as T Garden Chicken was pointing out, just pick a time. Just leave it the F alone at that point.
Yeah.
If I had my choice, I'd choose standard time. We don't need daylight savings time. And literally, the argument that irritates me the most is when people say, "But I like it when it's so light late in the summer. It's like late till 9 o'clock at night." You know what? Get your punk ass up at 4 a.m. and go do your day. I guarantee you, after 16 hours, when it's 8 o'clock at night and you're ready for bed, it's still going to be light outside.
Yes.
Even if it's standard time, the sun will just be going down, the sky will just be getting dark. And it's like, wow, it's just getting dark as I go to bed.
Yeah, I just remember when the kids were little, having to do what every parent has gone through, and it's not so bad here. Could you imagine the folks up in Canada where the kids are like, "Why do I have to go to bed? It's still light outside," right?
Yeah, Andy Moore said, "I thought we were getting rid of daylight savings time. In California, we voted to get rid of changing the clocks. But the way the thing was written, it didn't say if we were going to stay with standard time or if we were going to stay with daylight savings time. So they have been paralyzed and did absolutely nothing."
Yes. But, the thought of, okay, well, we'll just cut it by a half an hour. So we'll just, meet you in the middle. So we'll just move the clocks forward a half an hour and then leave it that. So now we're out of sync with the rest of the planet.
Yeah.
It just made no sense at all.
They're just idiots.
I'd rather have standard time, but if it was a choice to be daylight savings time permanently or the half hour, I would take daylight savings time permanently. Just because the half hour thing makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, there's dumb. Okay, so I haven't followed the news at all yesterday. What's going on?
Well, one of the things that I wanted to kind of look at is, Trump's been bombing the crap out of Iran for the last week. And Iran is kind of they've done two things. They've attacked U.S. Assets in neighboring countries, which I'm pretty sure the U.S. wasn't expecting. And then they apologized to those neighboring countries for, launching military strikes into their sovereign nations, but just like, hey, you don't understand. We're not targeting, we're targeting U.S. assets here.
Well, except for the ones that went to the side of high-rise, expensive hotels.
Well, these little accidents happen, right?
Yeah, just like we accidentally bombing a girls' school. I'm sure it was a complete and utter accident.
Well, the speculation was that they had an old map that used to be part of the Revolutionary Guard. It was an installation that the Revolutionary Guard used, and then somewhat recently, within the last few years, it became a school for girls, and it's adjacent to a Revolutionary Guard facility. But so what Iran doesn't want is all their neighbors launching assets back at them for attacking them. But at the same time, they're kind of goading Trump to put boots on the ground.
Right.
And Michelle sent me a TikTok where this guy was talking about these different groups being deployed or getting deployment notifications that they may go active. And so I was curious if Trump is planning on putting boots on the ground. Trump was rumored to have said he wants to get like special forces in there, because the war is the non-war war isn't going quite the way he wants it to go.
Oh, yeah. Well, what does he want now? He wants unconditional surrender because, ever since that was a thing with Germany, now everybody thinks that we need to have unconditional surrender for everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, and he wants to be able to pick the new leader of Iran. It's like, I don't think that's a thing.
I volunteer him. He can go over there and be the leader of Iran. We'll just leave him over there.
Yeah, put him there, and then we'll take JD as our president.
Yeah.
I wonder how long Felon would last over in Iran.
Well, he wouldn't make it. He wouldn't make it through the first meal.
They should invite him over for the red wedding. They should have a red wedding over there. You never saw Game of Thrones, did you?
What's that?
Did you ever see Game of Thrones?
No.
Ah, yes, the red wedding. Oops. Yeah, that's where you invite them all over for a nice wedding, these nice nuptials, and then as you're disarmed and enjoying the food and drink, the guards of the castle that you're visiting decide it's time to pay back the debts that you owed for your skullduggery in the past, as it were. But yeah, that's so. I wanted to look at if Trump really wants to put boots on the ground and what that looks like. If we don't do it here, we could certainly do it on a Twin Tarot reading. But I thought we could at least start here.
Yeah, go ahead for it. Go for it.
Okay, so let's take a look at that. So Trump is really, he's fascinated playing Army general.
He's a wartime president, but we haven't declared war yet.
Yeah, he's such a hero. Does he want to put boots on the ground? Entertainment purposes only. What's it looking like? Is he going to put boots on the ground? Okay, Six of Cups. He's living in the past, as David said before. He still thinks it's 1979. Gotta teach those Chinese. There's Germans.
Germans.
These Germans a lesson. So he's living in the past. The challenge is he's the man in charge. So the cross is the devil. He and Bibi have chained themselves to this. It's okay. Stop. He's giving a gift to the Iranian people. Look, I'm giving you your government back. I'm your hero. But his motivations and Netanyahu's motivations are so disingenuous. energy underneath it. The star. He wants to be the star. He wants his legacy cemented as the peacetime president. I start a war for peace. So he wants to give democracy to the Iranians, but it's like the worst possible way you could do it. It's with Trump, it's like everything's tactical. There's no strategic thinking, beyond instant success, right? In the past, you got the Ace of Cups. What I'm getting a feeling is kind of the motivate. This isn't so much does he want to put boots on the ground yet. This is kind of the motivation for him getting in there. Why he's attacking Iran in the first place. He wants to be seen as giving the government back. It's not a pure motivation. He wants to be the star. Ace of Cups. You got the in the past this upwelling of emotion. He's been in a piss fight with Iran since his first term. Current energy is the Three of Swords, but it's not going the way he wants it to go. Overarching energy is the Wheel of Fortune, and the future hasn't been decided yet on how this is going to go. Lesson to be learned is the Hierophant. This is his war. This is, Congress didn't declare war. This is Trump and Netanyahu's war. They are the face of it. They own it. Whatever happens, they own it. And the outcome is the Ace of Swords. A sharp truth is going to come from this. What strikes me is the crown on top of the sword. Is it one of those things where it's going to end the reign of the king, or show the truth about the king and the king's decision making? So it doesn't say whether we're putting boots on the ground. This is just more why we're there in the first place. What's going to happen?
I look at that spread and say yes. It's just the natural progression of things, because the plan that he thought it was going to work didn't work.
Yeah,
because he's a freaking idiot. He's addled, and it's like, you said this would work, that we'd bomb them and decapitate them, that we'd have new leadership, and that didn't happen. So now I have to go to the next phase. The other thing is, he needs. We're coming at a decision point, because truly putting boots on the ground extends this whole process and expands it as well.
Yeah.
If some speculation is that he could, bomb, and then after a few weeks of that, declare victory, complete and utter victory. We've totally annihilated everything, and then leave. And then you can, spend the next 6 to 8 months rearming, because you've exhausted all your main supplies, and you've only got reserves left, and you've got to rebuild up your main supply of ammunition, because you're not meant to be doing this. Then go back 6 to 8 months and say, oh, well, they didn't learn the lesson the first time. Let's go carpet bomb them some more. The fact that they're carpet bombing tells you that they're low on precision munitions.
Well, the other thing is, they want the Kurds to get in there and fight, and open up, kind of be the ground troops, if you will. And the U.S. has demonstrated on time and again that they're more than willing to abandon the Kurds in their time of need.
Why would the Kurds ever trust this country again? We've screwed them over twice, especially in 20 years.
Yep.
Makes no sense.
I hear
you. If the U.S. puts boots on the ground, I'm curious, does this expand the war? Does this make things even worse? If the U.S. puts boots on the ground, does it make things even worse?
Ooh.
What do we got going on here? It's a show of force.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of a strategic show. It's like they're contemplating this as a show of force, but it not only would it initiate a new phase of the war, but it would be damn foolish thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
You've all you've done the easy stuff at this point, and now the hard decisions come in. And what should be happening is you're looking at the best interest of the United States. And we're not seeing Trump has no ability to look at the best interest of the United States. He looks at his own best interests.
Mm-hmm.
There's a real struggle going on with this. Somebody may come up and suggest a different tactic with it. I do think if they put boots on the ground, it's going to be disastrous. Hopefully what happens here is that somebody gets in there and says, basically, what I think is going to happen is Congress comes in and says, boots on the ground is a bridge too far.
Yep.
We will remove you if you try and put boots on the ground.
Yeah.
I think that. I mean, that doesn't mean that Trump won't do it.
Yeah.
But I think the threat will be made. I don't know if we will ever hear about that threat.
Yep.
Almost like you have to. It's like Congress saying, "Well, if you're going to put boots on the ground, we need to vote on this."
Oh yeah, exactly. Because it's no longer a police action, is it?
Well, apparently the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan wasn't a war; it was a military action or something like that. Because I thought Congress voted to go to war. I seem to recall there was like a vote in Congress, and only one person abstained from it or voted against it. But maybe they never formally declared war. I have to look that up.
Yeah, there was thank you, Teal Turtle Studios. I was getting a lot of comments that Condoleezza Rice was called into the White House. I don't know if you saw or heard anything about that.
I heard anything about that.
And I haven't read anything. I haven't seen anything on it. Just I've seen stuff in the comments, and I don't know if Midas Touch had something on that or what. But if Condoleezza Rice is being called in there, that does not bode well as far as I'm concerned.
I don't know how that makes things better.
Yeah. So let's take a look at that. Get the energy around Condoleezza Rice. What is the motivation for bringing her into the White House? Why are they bringing Condi in? Okay, foundation is the tower. Cross is the 9 of Wands. Okay, so so the tower could be, how do we bring down the Iranian government? The 9 of Wands is this battle. The actions we've taken. It's like the actions they've taken aren't quite enough. It's like they need a little more info. And then the energy underneath is the Lovers. I kind of wonder if they're bringing her in to see if she is able to, not like a diplomat, but how do we reach out to these other countries to help us out, to basically throw more support behind this? I wonder if that's this is what I'm seeing. So you got the Lovers. It's about building deeper relationships. In the past, Page of Wands, changing the messaging, introducing messaging. Current situation, the King of Swords. Come in and tell us the truth. King of Cups, because we got a man baby in charge. The Sun, So I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to go with this. Okay, so why are you bringing Condoleezza Rice in? Okay, so you got the tower moment. It's this could be one of a whole bunch of things, right? They've come up with several reasons why they are invading Iran. None of which seem to have really landed and resonated with their audience. So the foundation of their attacks is suspect, and the challenge is, we're kind of stuck in this battle right now. It's like Elon Musk, break it and see what happens, right? They broke it, now they're seeing what happens. Under the energy underneath is building relationships. This could be, how do we build relationships with the folks in the Middle East or with the conservative Republicans? Change our messaging, coming up with a new truth. Maybe they're trying to get her to come in and tell them why they're invading Iran, because Trump's reasoning didn't make much sense. The lesson to be learned is the sun, which is basically the truth is out there, that people are seeing exactly what it is what's happening here. That this is Israel basically leaned on Trump to get into this. And the outcome is the Six of Pentacles. You had this is basically Trump's done the easy stuff. Now, how do I get the Kurds or other people to kind of come in and join the fight? It's almost like they're bringing her in as a diplomat, or how to negotiate with the Kurds to get them to do what we want them to do.
Yeah, looking at that, you've never watched Pulp Fiction because for some reason you object to watching interesting movies.
I guess so.
For the Pulp Fiction fans out there, Condoleezza Rice is the wolf. And so when Jules and Vincent accidentally shoot Marvin in the head, they end up going to somebody's house, and who happens to be played by the director, and they bring in the wolf to clean up the mess. And I think right now with his Tower card and the Knight of Wands, this thing is a disaster, and they don't know what to do next. So they're bringing in the outside consultant, and tough as nails. And it's like it would be somebody that can look Donald Trump right in the eye and tell him what he needs to do, and he may listen and actually do it. And then, whether you have to sell it to Congress, she's going to basically appeal to the neocons of Congress. Yeah, they could Karen the Wolf. There's a reference. Exactly. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino was the house that they go to visit.
Yeah, it's that would make sense to me. I mean, I haven't really stopped to think why Condoleezza Rice might be going there, but that makes total sense. Look, you bunch of morons. This is what you need to do.
Yeah, I've been following. That's news to me. I've heard that she's been involved with this White House. Oh boy. Yeah, Carolyn's asking, would he actually listen to a black woman? To her face, he will.
Yeah.
He'll bitch and complain about it behind her back to his sycophants, but she will get him to agree to everything that she says she wants him to do, because he's spineless. So all the white supremacists in there are spineless. You think Stephen Miller is going to square up against Condoleezza Rice? She'll shred him alive.
So Nancy Sutton's got a comment there. I'm looking at Forbes. It says Condoleezza Rice was part of a roundtable regarding college sports. My God, because Trump just tweeted about how he wants college sports to go back to the non-paid athletes again. And that was recent. I mean, it could totally be that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be interesting? It has nothing to do with the war at all. It has everything to do with some non sequitur of pearl clutching fame. We can't have men playing women's sports.
But it's just the ridiculousness if that's truly what and I don't that is actually very fascinating because that would be just like Trump to have this major crisis and then get diverted by let's talk about college athletes getting paid. I wanted to go back the way it was before. Oh man.
Yeah, I don't know what era that guy lives in.
In some ways, maybe it's brilliant. Is keep the orange felon away from the war, and maybe we can figure our way out of this thing before he starts barking more orders at people. Good Lord Almighty!
Yeah.
Hey, so for those of you in the chat, if you have a question, throw it in all caps, shout at us, and we'll see if there's any readings you would like us to do. And I just see Marcus is in there, also known as Mangal. Marcus, how are you? Cheers, mate. Who else is Mary Epperson? Hi, Mary. And Rose Blue. Oh, we got some Sandy Johnson. Yay! Thanks, Sandy. Cheers.
Richard wants you to feed your cats.
He wants to feed, not David. Not David's pretty plump right now. Thank you, Richard. Rose Blue, yay! I'm still mad at the Texas GOP. Yellow belly, egg sucking dogs. Name is fighting words, Rose Blue.
Thank you,
Robin. Thank you. Cheers, Robin. Read on the passing of Trump. The ever popular reading.
Yeah, exactly. That one. If we were to put one up now, we'd get like 1 million views.
I absolutely love your Google handle. Did your cat type it or? That is like the most random set of characters. Are there any vowels? There's one vowel. 2 vowels. That's impressive.
3.
Is there 3?
2 and a Y.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sometimes Y. Okay. Read on the passing of Trump. Oh, boy. Okay.
Not soon enough.
What can you tell us about it, huh?
It's in progress. And it's going to be related to his mental illness. What I'm getting is, his health is deteriorating. He's slipping into lunacy. He can't differentiate reality from fiction. And you're seeing it play out with his emotional outbursts. And it's going to lead, maybe not necessarily to his death first, but it's going to lead to his removal from power. His health declines are going to be the reason he gets removed. It'll probably be mental health, but they will represent it likely as something else. As we go back to the early comments with Pekin Duck about, he thinks that Trump's rash is where Stephen Miller bit him. One person pointed out that if you have a skin cancer there, that they could treat you with a topical ointment and it gives a rash like that, which led to the question, does Trump have lymphoma? And how wild would it be if Trump has lymphoma and these idiots in this administration aren't telling the people of the United States? He probably could very well have cancer. And they would rather say that Trump has cancer and he's stepped down due to illness than they would say this guy is loopy as a loon and needs to step down. But it's going to be his craziness that gets him out of office.
Yeah, I have an interesting spread here. So I got the foundation is the 9 of Cups. It's kind of like I get 2 feelings. my gut feeling is at first it's just like everything's fine, everything's going to plan, nothing to see here. But the challenge is that he's in a fight, and it's not all going to be winnings. He's losing the fight. It's just a matter of time. Whatever happened, it's happening progressively. It's moving forward quickly. They are doing their best to slow it down, but it's playing on his emotional load. Now, the second time I looked at the spread just before I started reading, it's like, oh, I wonder if this is like Peter Thiel and the folks backing J.D. Vance. It's like, excellent. Everything's going according to plan. Our boy is about ready to step in. He's going to charge forward, and he's going to detox the situation. And then you've got the emotional uplift with Trump moving out of office. It feels more like the latter than the former rather than the latter. To me, it's just they are going to they're going to tell us everything is fine. There's nothing wrong until something's wrong. It's that's really consistent where Dave and I have said that when it happens, it's going to be undeniable. They won't be able to spin it.
That's from Dan Greeny.
What's that?
Dan Greeny was the one who came up with that one.
Oh, okay.
I may have said it, but give credit to where my source was.
Yeah. But that's always been kind of my feeling too when I looked at the cards. It's like when it happens, it's going to be right there in your face. It'll be that Mitch McConnell moment where they just can't spin it any other way.
Let's see.
Summer solstice. I don't even need to throw cards. Of course it will. Everything will be right as rain.
Who fell in by the summer solstice?
That's a good first card. Oh boy. Huh.
I'm not sure what to go with it. If you've got your cards ready to go for it.
Yeah, summer solstice. I've got the foundation is the Three of Cups, people celebrating. The main foundation is the Strength card, showing calm strength. Able to tame the lion, able to basically take it on. The two main clarifiers are the Four of Swords. At this point, it's time to sit back and be reflective because of a harsh truth that's come out. And then underneath it is the Lover's cards with strong relationships being formed. Now, what's interesting on the question is, will all this nonsense end by the summer solstice? We don't know what nonsense we're tapping into here. Is this the war with Iran? Is this with the war with ICE? Is this the war with Trump and his merry band of deplorables running this country? But suffice to say, summer solstice, there's going to be some people celebrating, and we're coming out stronger. And it's a time of celebration and reflection. And that's interesting because the Four of Swords is the card I got that I was interpreting that Trump would be out of power. Something would happen in March, and by April he would be done. So possible. Those are cards that would support something, some nonsense ending by summer solstice. what nonsense that might be, I can't honestly tell you.
Yeah, it could be that's. There's a practicality or attending to one's health, resting, relaxing, retreating, relaxing.
Yeah, there's a
Progression, and your summer solstice card there. It's almost like there's less Trump out there because his health is me. He needs to rest more. He needs to sleep more. He needs to take care of his health more. You see less and less of him. So probably yes. I wouldn't say yes that the nonsense ends by the summer solstice, but it's in retreat. His health is not good, and it's in 4 months, 3 months, 3.5 months or so, he's going to be just that much worse off with it. I think it's starting to spiral downward or taper down at that point. That doesn't mean when he could be out there, and when he does stuff, it's crazy, but he's out there less frequently.
Yeah.
He already doesn't work enough to begin. He doesn't already work much to begin with. He'll be working even less.
Yeah. I know what Gary the analyst thinks.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't Iran or any of their proxies want to strike in the U.S.? Why should they the only ones who feel terror? And the whole thing about terror is not knowing when it's going to happen is worse than what the actual damage is for the other part of the population.
So what I've got is they're trying to figure out a plan that will bring them joy, that cause some celebration, show that they're still strong, but right now they're sort of sizing up their opportunity. And when it happens, the goal is to get people to walk away from this regime of ours. So my gut feeling as an analyst, hell yes. I don't know what's taking them so long. And I just read somewhere where they wanted to put out kind of an alert saying, hey, heads up, we've got rumblings that something may be coming up, but then Trump's administration came in and squelched it, saying, no, we'll take care of that, and they promptly buried it. It's kind of like Trump with the COVID testing. He didn't want to do COVID testing because the more you test for COVID, the more positive results you're going to get, and the more it makes it look like it's running rampant through the country. I mean, so for him, it's all about perception and image versus truth.
Yeah.
I don't want people thinking that COVID's running rampant through the country when it really is. I want them to go out and buy things and keep the economy going. And it's the same damn thing with the jobs report and all that other government information that he's been basically putting a lid on it. And then they just said that we lost 92,000 jobs in February, and they just revised the 2025 numbers, and it turned out we lost 65,000 jobs in December of 2025. So, his tactic is to not release bad information so that people won't panic or act on it. Same with the greenhouse gases. If you just take it out of the news cycle, people will forget that it's a thing.
Short attention span theater.
Yes.
One card. 4 of coins. That's we institute a draft. No, he's not going to institute a draft. Not yet. No, that's one of those cards. You hold that card close to your vest.
Yeah.
Type of thing.
I don't think he wants that to be his legacy. It's ironic, the number of times he dodged the draft.
That's interesting because, I was about to say you can't have a draft without a war, but yes, you can. I looked it up. The last time the United States declared war was 1942.
Mm-hmm.
And that was against Bulgaria, Hungary, and Romania. And, ever since then, it's been authorization for use of military force rather than formal declarations. But when you have the authorization for use of military force, you can still have a draft.
Yeah.
Draft for, I believe there's a draft. Yeah, there's a draft for Korea. There's a draft for Vietnam.
Well,
I don't think we're there yet. That doesn't mean it can't happen in the future, but we're not there yet. And how awful would the optics be when a draft dodger is declaring a draft?
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Gravy SEALs should be signing up and volunteering because this is the holy war that they've been wanting. So give it to them. Go sign up. Go cross seas. Go grab your pew pew and your cosplay and go be a real soldier.
Yeah.
Don't sign up for the regular military though. Sign up for the National Guard or the Army Reserves. You want to go for the Army Reserves. That way you get deployed.
Is there a current blockade with Cuba?
I don't know. Somebody's throwing it in the comments.
What happened to Cuba? Well, I mean, he's already threatened that Cuba's going to be next.
Right.
What's going on with Cuba? He said allegedly in negotiations with Cuba's government as they are nearing the end. That's what I thought I saw. So what's going on with Cuba's government and Trump's government?
Embargoes since the 60s. I don't think there's a blockade.
Yeah, that embargo I'm aware of.
Let's see. February. There's a New York Times article saying Cuba is confronting the United States' first effective blockade since the missile crisis and running out of fuel fast.
Oh.
A U.S. fuel. It's a fuel blockade.
Okay. So you got the High Priestess. Secrets that are being kept. Information that's being kept. Secret information. The challenge is the Seven of Wands. Having to defend your actions. I'm not sure what I want to do with the High Priestess there.
Israel is telling you what to do and how to do it.
That's right. Defending your actions, I get. Underneath, you got the Emperor, Trump just being the bully. Being a bully. The Tower. So in the past, you got the Tower. This is breaking down structures. Current energy is the Queen of Pentacles. I can take care of you. This is kind of what I'm getting here is, this in the past, the U.S. has been, because of their blockade, they've really they've put Cuba in like a 50-year holding pattern. There's not much they can do to modernize this country. And Trump's promising, we'll take care of you. Join us. Become the 51st state, if you will. Overarching energies, the Five of Cups. They don't want to do it. It's a minor arcana death card. Harsh truth, though. The lesson to learn is the harsh truth. And there's that damn Four of Swords again. The outcome of the Four of Swords. You better think about it. With Cuba with a blockade. My feeling on looking at these cards is Cuba may knuckle under to it. It really depends who they can reach out to for support. They've seen what happened in Venezuela. They've seen what happened in Iran.
Throw some things out there that may help you. The blockade has cut the Cuban government from accessing desperately needed fuel. It's stunted the economy and is causing widespread human suffering, and is pushing their health system towards collapse, putting lives at risk. So I think U.S. intelligence going in there and basically, we're going to collapse your economy and people are going to die. Is that what you want for your people?
Yeah, and that's what I'm getting. That card makes a lot of sense now. That card makes a lot of sense now, and that card makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, there's just a ruthlessness with Trump because where previous administrations, they don't want to cause needless suffering of people. Trump has no inhibitions about that. Your people die, well, that's too bad for them. They'll blame you for it. I don't care.
There's that complete lack of empathy that allows him to make these kinds of decisions and, stay up all night tweeting about it.
Right, because he's just super awesome in that regard.
Oh, yeah, someone's talking about gas prices going up. Let's see, $4 a gallon in Vegas. I just filled up the tank on my car. Regular unleaded $4.79 at Costco, and that's about the cheapest gas you're going to find in California. It was over $5 for super, and that's at Costco. I saw like a Chevron station was like $6 a gallon for super. Thanks, Mark.
I think got a couple more for you, Gary.
Woo-hoo. Hey, thanks, Marcus.
That was a big one. That's 25 pounds. That's the weakening U.S. dollar. That's a good donation there.
Yay, Linda from Virginia. Toward the stocking. Well, I didn't see Linda's message. What was it? Towards stocking. Your man cave fridge. Ah, yes. I just destocked it. There's beer in there that's a couple years old, and I needed to get it out of there and consume it.
You didn't donate to Zelensky?
No, I didn't. The only thing of value in Cuba are the cars. And not even that, because a lot of those older cars, the car collectors really value originality.
They've had to just hoop DM to keep them going, I'm sure.
Yeah, the Cubans have had to be very creative. I mean, they look original on the outside, but yeah, a lot of the parts have been cobbled together. But they're certainly fascinating. Oh, thank you, Robin. Appreciate that. Yay.
Okay.
Cheers.
Alabama go Democratic for the governor and the Senate this year.
Dreamweaver's home.
Well, if you the best shot for it in decades, probably.
I wonder does Gary Wright live with you?
Who? What?
Gary Wright performed the song Dreamweaver. Don't make me sing it.
La, la, la.
Yeah, that's it. Well, Alabama go Democratic for the governor and Senate this year.
Let's see. It's the economy, stupid. People, here we go. People voting with the legacy. It's time to take it down because people are struggling. I don't know if it'll go to the Democrats, but a struggling economy and people suffering can bring the current administration goes down. So that would probably be yes. And it really depends on what Trump does with the economy. If the economy crashes, then all of a sudden you can make an argument that that this government needs to change. You need some strong leadership here. But the thing that you're facing is all types of voter suppression acts that the GOP is going to pull out. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you had free and fair elections, probably would. If the economy goes south, it's likely, but there's going to be resistance from the good old boys in power this part right here because they can throttle. They can choose their voters. The only way that you can get past that is to have such high voter turnout that the normal suppression tactics are overwhelmed and get swamped to the point that you've got a new government coming in. That's my call with that.
Okay, so I've got foundation is the justice card, which is it's interesting because as you were going through your reading about if you have free and fair elections, that started to resonate. But for me, it's lots of major arcana in this. 4 of the 5 cards are major arcana, so it's kind of big ticket stuff here. It's probably me being an optimist looking at these cards, but I think it could happen. And the reason why is because of Trump's actions. They're going to start looking at the Republican Party, and they're going to start looking at, we've got this felon that's been, no one's holding him to account. The justice system convicted him of 34 felonies. But he was never sentenced to anything because he became president. And it's just people are going to have to stop and really think about what it is that they're supporting. You've got the actions that are going around the world, which is also the end of the cycle. It's taking care of those around you. The whole tabletop issues. And then the star about democracy. I'm kind of muddled on this, but it seems to dovetail with Dave's reading about if you're having free and fair elections, it could totally happen. But it's really, are people getting the big picture here? And it's are they going to go blue? It depends. If they are going big picture, if they're looking at what's best for the collective versus what's best for me, it'll happen. And boy, that is optimism for me. Some people are getting it, but there's a lot of people that aren't getting it. It's just, it's me. Whatever benefits me is what I'm going to vote for. And then Linda was wondering how much it would get for me to sing Dreamweaver. I don't know if there's a price on that.
Too much. Much too much. Will they take away the codes? Yeah, they don't trust him. They do not trust him with the codes for a little bit. So I think every time he asks for the codes, they distract him. They offer him another opportunity to demolish some other part of the White House. I think those codes are being kept on the down low. They're being kept tight to the vest. And I think it's kind of like they know what he'll do with them, so they won't give them to him. And probably if he gets closer to wanting them, the non-sycophants would reach out to Congress, and Congress will come forward and say, yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And if we get word that you go that direction, we will remove you. Because it won't take long to happen. They will fast track that effort right through. Wow, you sing so well.
So there you go. You're familiar with that song, aren't you, David?
Yes, and you've just demonetized us because now you've played unauthorized music that you didn't get.
I didn't get paid
permissions.
For it. Hopefully, it was short enough where no one will notice. 6 seconds of Gary Wright's Dreamweaver. Hopefully, we can get through it. No, my singing voice is atrociously bad.
Well, good luck singing that song. It's not exactly in your vocal range.
No, it's not.
Did Bondi recently turn in shell accounts and papers on Orange Man's back deals with other countries and be possible immunity? In other words, is she covering? Is she going out of way to cover for him?
I can't imagine Pam Bondi.
There's no chance. There's no chance she betrays him. She's gone too far down the road.
Well, it's the same with Christy Nome. You know, they have proven time and again they're willing to kiss his butt and tell him it tastes like ice cream. You know, there's no way they're gonna back out of it now. They're in 100%.
The people that would back out from Trump would be Lindsey Graham would back out from Trump because he's shown that when he backs away, then he gets pulled right back in. Stephen Miller probably would, even though Trump gives Stephen Miller a lot of power and power that he wouldn't normally have because he's not an elected official. But at the same time, he works behind the scenes doing his awful stuff. And if it's going to be him going to prison, he's not going to go to prison for Donald Trump.
No.
These women, for some reason, they're Kristi Noem or Pam Bondi are willing to go to prison for him. I don't think Miller is.
Yeah. Now, if for possible immunity, she might turn over stuff if she's able to avoid going to the big house, but she's not going to turn on him voluntarily.
Congress, especially if the Dems get control, they're going to enjoy. She might as well be a witch because they will burn her alive. They will roast that woman alive because she started it.
Yep.
Any info on Nancy Guthrie and when she'll be found?
Oh,
because we're not expecting to find a live Nancy Guthrie at this point, right?
Let me see. I know what Gary the analyst thinks. Gary the card reader has never even looked at Nancy Guthrie. Ew. Okay. On Nancy, when she'll be found. So, Queen of Pentacles, this is about taking care of things that are important to you. And then the main clarifier is the Knight of Cups. You know, that peace offering. To me, Gary the analyst is she's not with us. She is not with us on this planet anymore.
I don't think that was the question. I don't think we were asking if she's alive.
When will she be found? I don't think I'm getting the timeline on this because when will she be found? I've got nothing here that's
everything in your spread says she's crossed.
Yeah. You know,
she had health issues, didn't have her meds. Bye-bye. Ended quickly.
Yeah, she's rejoined her family. And it happened quickly. You know, there was things that needed to be taken care of and they didn't have it. Yeah. They didn't have what they need to give her. And then underneath is the star, which, you know, could be her daughter. It could be how this case has sort of resonated in the news cycle for so long. I just, oops, I've lost you here.
You're still on. Yeah. I think the police putting out a reward for information and getting a bunch of tips and then following up, I think that's going to lead them to the final finding of where she is. Probably they'll end up. Well, I'll just give you one of two things. Either they end up arresting the right person who does a plea deal and tells them where she is, or they get lucky and find the body. But you got to think at this point they probably have some suspects. They've had enough tips to go in there. They have to have some idea of who did this, and then it's just you getting the information you need.
I would be thrilled if they found her alive, but my gut feeling is I don't think she's alive, and I don't know when they're going to find her. Where do I see I know where that's going, Acadian crowd.
He's going to be waiting for that one tank to go by with the squeaky wheel.
Right.
The big military parade. Get their one card on that one. He's going to be out there celebrating. I think, even if his health is miserable, he wants to be out there to be the president over the 250th celebration.
I've got the same thing, just celebrations.
He lives for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to leave when stuff like that happens.
Because he can make it all about himself.
Yep.
And how he's made this country great again. Trump is unmutual, disharmonious, and needs social conversion. Yay!
Thank you, Nina. Chocolate all around. And petty. What happened to the Ukrainian children that Putin kidnapped?
Good question.
One era children that disappeared. Oh yeah. I think we have a pretty good idea, huh? Given all the trafficking that's going on, you have an idea, which is why you had a bunch of Congress people screaming, "Where are the girls?"
Mm-hmm.
Like when they separated children, there were girls that were disappearing, and they were saying, "Where are the girls?" And there was never an answer to the question or an expansion of that information. Probably it was classified. That's the only thing they could say to, get close to the law, skirt the law.
So I got just do two cards. They went back to Mother Russia, but the truth is going to come out.
Yeah, I know that some got put in families and stuff. It's just another act of cruelty. Stealing people's children and then hitting them with propaganda, probably teaching them to hate Ukraine. Then you find out your parents are Ukrainian, and it's cruelty for the sake of cruelty. I don't think they were being trafficked per se. It's possible that some would get trafficked, but I think it's more of a psyops type thing that Putin was excited about doing. A lot of comments. You know what? I think we should wrap it up at this point. There's a bunch of more start questions I could go through. There's no way we're going to catch up on it. At this point.
But hey, maybe we'll do some readings on these. Because Dave and I are always kind of like struggling with what we should read on. So it's good to have some ideas of what you guys are interested in on this. Who is Barron's father?
Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the biological father. There's no doubt. The dude looks like Trump. He absolutely does. Now, obviously, looks and DNA testing are completely different things, but that's Donald's son. He's right down to the massive sociopath that both of his parents are.
Well, what's interesting though is who's his real father. I mean, from a DNA standpoint, Trump is his dad, but right. That kid has a Ukrainian accent, has Slovenian accent. he was raised by his mom. He had no real exposure to his dad. He's still working on getting rid of his accent because he speaks like his mom, because his mom was the one who spent all his time with. So he has no father. Luke, he has no father.
I'm surprised that going to school didn't help him remove that accent. I've barely heard him speak.
Well, there's a reason. I've heard something with him talking when he was younger, and he sounds like Melania. It sounds like he came across on a boat, you know. When my first job was at a pizza restaurant, and the owner's name was Luigi. And Luigi looked exactly like Mario and Luigi from
Yes,
Mario.
he did. Yes, he did.
To the point he probably could have sued Nintendo.
At least should have been a mascot. He should have leaned into that one.
I mean, this man from the early 80s had his Halloween costume predetermined. He could have been Mario or Luigi from Mario Brothers every year and won every costume contest ever. My dad went to school with Luigi, and Luigi sounded like he came off the boat from Italy like the week before. He has such a heavy Italian accent, and he'd been in the United States for like 40, 50 years at that point. And it was just funny. He just never took the time to try and adapt his speaking voice. And, with Barron, yeah, he sounds like he came from a Slovenian country.
Yeah, but by your same argument, then Pam should have had an accent. His daughter, Pam, should have had an accent, and she didn't.
Yeah, Pam didn't. Yeah, Pam did not. She spoke like every other American.
Because you go to school and you ditch the accent.
Yeah, exactly. But did Barron go to private school, or was he homeschooled?
I'm sure he. Well, if you think Melania homeschooled him, of course he went to private school. Well, I don't know that. I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
Look that up. But I'm pretty sure he did because they talked about it. But I won't even ask it. What private schools did Barron Trump attend? There we go. He went to a private school in West Palm Beach. With the Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach. They're
requesting cats. There's Kakuna. That's the only cat that's inside right now. My girl.
He attended St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland, Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School in Manhattan. Remember, that's why she couldn't go to the White House, because Barron was in school.
Yes.
All right.
There's only 2 cats in the house. There's the other one. I don't know where Pump is.
And Gary's asking about father figures. So probably Melania's dad was providing the father.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, those are the folks that provided all the English lessons.
Anyway,
yeah, mirth and discord. My accent shifts depending on who I'm talking to. That's true. When I would go to Hawaii, my first wife was from Hawaii. All of a sudden, I'd start having almost a bit of a pidgin accent. There's a flow that when you talk, the locals in Hawaii, when they talk, there's a melodic flow on the language, and I caught myself doing that. And I'm born and raised in the SF Bay Area in California. I'm as non-Hawaiian as they come. Yay, you're welcome, Linda. Better to hear Gary write in the original version than my very butchered version of Dreamweaver.
Okay.
So, do you have any questions for us before we sign off? So, I'm older by 6 minutes. Our mom is going to be 91 in July, She doesn't really set up burner accounts to troll us, but we like to pretend that she does. Anything else? Any other common questions, David?
Well, nothing popping up.
How did we get into tarot? That's a good day. I got dragged in by my brother, kicking and screaming.
I went to I had my first tarot reading. Probably in the aughts, I think. I think Gina, our sister, recommended me to a woman that was doing readings over in Burlingame using angel decks and such. And when Trump got elected, I turned to YouTube and discovered Dr. Lena Rodriguez, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot, amongst others. And I'd watch him and start learning the cards a little bit. And I was like, yeah, I could probably do that, but never really got into it. But then Dr. Lena Rodriguez was offering classes. And she went through a couple rounds like that. And I said, what the heck? I think I'll sign up for one of them. And she took me in, and I learned just before COVID. I was learning just as COVID and the shutdowns were happening. And that's how I got into it. And I did a reading for Linda G, and she said, you should go start your own YouTube channel. So that's how I started in December of 2022.
Let's see. Kentucky Belle got her lemon plushie. Right on, Michelle. We have 5 cats between us. David has 2. He's got Nico and Elle, and I've got 3. I've got Punky, Kitten, and Kakuna, and I'm down from 6. We used to have 6 cats in the Great Pyrenees. Yes, Michelle got her lemon plushie. How is or was your weekend? It was great until Laura and I went to the H&R Block to do file our taxes. It was a very expensive Sunday for us.
Oh, bummer for you. I drove up to my friend Fabiano's place in Santa Rosa yesterday. He actually lives in the same city as Linda G. And I had recently purchased a new to us Porsche sports car. And Fabiano and I took it out, and we were driving all over St. Helena, Calistoga, up and down to the Napa and Sonoma Valleys. He's got some great roads to drive on there. We had lunch at a place called Buster's. And it was funny, as we're pulling up, I was telling this story to Michelle last night. She got a great laugh out of it. It suddenly occurred to me, and Gary, you can just think of the Russian River area. So you've got 2 men in their 60s. There's a very big gay community up in the wine country in that area. Now you got these 2 guys in their 60s, their early 60s, driving around in a convertible car, and one's named Fabiano. Going to have lunch. Oh yeah, that's not a recipe for disaster.
So Canuck Book, also known as Jimmy, wants to know, how do you feel about your religion in tarot? I have trouble balancing it.
I saw that one here.
Yeah, Jimmy, honestly, I don't see them as interfering with one another at all. As a matter of fact, they complement each other as much as they're both kind of a faith-based system. They both support that there is more to life than just this planet, and that you should conduct yourself in a way because there's karmic things that can come back at you depending on how you treat and act in this realm. But for me, tarot is more of a thought exercise. I don't pretend it's a religion, or I don't consider it a religion. To me, the cards are more to get me to think about a problem. Look at it, of course, there's the card on the bottom. To look at an issue in maybe a way that I hadn't considered before. So for me, it becomes more of a thought exercise than anything else.
I went to Peru a number of years ago, almost 10 years ago. Met there's a family that was it was part of a group that were distributing wheelchairs, and there was a Peruvian family that was working with us amongst a bunch of other international students and such. And they had 4 daughters, and they were each amazing, teenage girls, each amazing, very smart, motivated, in entrepreneurial type spirits. And 2 of the girls were opening up their own online clothing store and selling clothes. And I had just learned tarot again in the 2020s or so. And I was, chatting with one of them. Said, "Hey, would you like me to throw some cards for you to see how your business will do?" And I got this really long pause and a no thank you. And it suddenly occurred to me, of course, here we go with that passage. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend or scare you. Is this the beware of the soothsayers passage that we're talking about here?" And the answer was yes. And the part I don't follow religion, and I gave up religion for Lent back when I was 18 years old, and it's like that one really good Lent thing that I've been able to keep up for the better part of 40 years. Religion constricts you. Think of religion as like a toolbox that you put your spiritual tools in. Any religion that says, "Oh, you can't do tarot, that's witchcraft, that's the devil's work," you know what? F you. Because I look at it as, this is a gift God gave me. God gave me intuition, gave us all intuition. Now, whether you choose to work those muscles or ignore them, that's on you. But to say, "Oh, well, that's witchcraft," go pound sand. You want to go quote Bible passage to me, knock yourself out with your pretend book. I don't care. At the end of the day, my intent, and with the intent with the girls in Peru, was I wasn't doing it to be a soothsayer. I was like, I just want to look at it. What challenges would your businesses face? So if you have an idea what the challenges you're going to face, you're prepared to deal with them, however that looks. I wasn't mad at them for them declining it, because in the end of the day, that's their choice. I would have loved to have helped. But every once in a while, we don't get them too often, but every once in a while you get a comment in the comment section that somebody feels the need to try and impose their religion on me. Do I have a problem with I don't balance religion and tarot because I don't follow religion. I guess is what I'm saying. I'm sure we have family members that might have a different opinion.
Oh, yeah. We do.
and she can go pound sand for all I care.
Yeah, so like I said, for me, it's just more of a thought exercise. I am not using this as a substitute for thinking that there is, what God I should be following, that way. Now I imagine David picking up Looney Tunes.
I don't, what? Honestly, I don't think at this point I don't think she enjoys driving much anymore. And Linda and I have almost the same car.
Yeah, you do.
Not the Porsche. We Shell and I had recently purchased a used Lexus SUV, and Linda's just got the same SUV, but she's one trim size bigger. We have an NX, and she has an RX, and the RX is just a little bit.
She got bigger. The RX. Wow, she got the big one.
She got the RX 350, and I think she got the hybrid too.
Yeah.
And because Linda at her age and at her stage of life, comfort makes a big difference, and it's a nice, comfortable car to drive. And H&R Block, I gotta finish our taxes here too.
Yes, I've been using the same lady for 25 years, or more than that, probably 26, 27 years. We worked together at United Airlines, and she's been doing my taxes, forever. Yay! What do we got here from Robin? Tarot is such a great way to tap in your own higher self and collective unconscious. I keep a tarot journal. Oh, nice. It's good that you keep a journal, because I'm too lazy to even rewatch our old videos.
I don't watch my old videos. Heck no.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I've said after I've hit record. After I've hit stop, I have no idea what was on the video before.
Yeah,
that's always kind of fun in the comments section where people are quoting what you said, and I got to think, oh, what did I say in that video?
Yeah, and I warned Gary that happens.
Yes.
Two things happen when you get in the zone. You kind of lose a little bit of your logical edge, in some of that recall. It's almost like you're activating a different part of your brain, and you get out of that logical side where it's like you remember the name of the chief of staff for Trump the first time around, or his 3 chiefs of staffs. But when you're in the reading, it's like I don't remember which guy that was.
Yeah. Because I'm going with the flow of the cards versus what Gary the analyst would say. So it's just, after I'm done, it's just like, 12 hours later, I have no idea what I said. And Linda G even told us that, because I remember when she said that surprised me. It's like, you don't remember what you said? It's like,
yeah,
wow.
But having read that, Gary experienced, I've experienced that. There's other readers we've talked to, it's the same thing. After the video goes up, I was just thinking, I just put one on, I didn't say World War III energy because I didn't want to get flagged by the censors. I said world conflict, third world conflict energies or something. And I believe the answer was no, but I don't remember specifically what I had said about that. It just seems like there's a lot of posturing, but not necessarily.
And you figure that's a big one that you might remember.
You think, and sometimes I do. Live in Boonville. Michelle and I just drove through Boonville. We spent a week up in Mendocino. So as we go up Highway 128, we'll wave.
Well, and our sister got busted with. She was a senior in high school. She had Boone's Farm
strawberry wine,
which I suspect came from Boonville. Yay! Woo!
I think that's the last of them.
Yay!
Okay, Michelle's home. She's been out all morning. I'm going to go say hello. And thank you, everybody, for joining us on this very short notice. Yeah. Gary messaged me last night, hey, you want to do a live tomorrow? It's like, yeah, sure. And I thought maybe he would set up the live and give people an overnight's notice. No. I said, okay, we'll read it 1:30, because that'll give at least half an hour, 45 minutes to put a post up there to let you know what's happening. So I said, but if you don't want to put up a post, we'll start at 1. I was eating lunch at the time. He was.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And I wasn't going to speed up my lunch. I was going to be done. By the time I got everything set up, it would be 12:55, and that's effectively 1:00.
Yeah, this is actually kind of an interesting time, because it might be just late enough in the day where the folks in Australia, New Zealand could jump in, and early enough where the folks in Europe haven't gone quite to bed yet.
I think we're going to have to start doing a midnight reading so that midnight Saturday morning reading, so that they can the folks in the UK and France and Germany can join us with their breakfast, with their coffee and pastries.
It's not just them. It'd be like Aurelia and our midnight crew, that the insomniacs that
that's true.
Videos at midnight.
Make it very Eurocentric. We'll talk about the royals the whole time.
Indeed. Hey, thank you all so much for joining us. It's so nice to see you out there, and I hope you all have a wonderful remainder of your weekend.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. We'll catch you on the next one. Take care.